Hello, everyone. We're going to get started in about 5 minutes, so take your seats if you are still looking for one.
Please stand as you are able for the academic procession.
The 42nd Virginia Tech DC Area Graduate Commencement has begun. We ask that you take a moment to notice your closest emergency exit. This is also the time to turn off or silence your mobile devices if you haven't already. Thank you. Please stand as you're able for the posting of the colors by the University Color Guard and the singing of our national anthem by Mr. Corey Parker.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
Please be seated. Good afternoon. You all made it. Well done. Let me just say that it is wonderful to be back to see you all here today to celebrate these commencement exercises. On behalf of the entire university, we are so happy to welcome you here today. And yet, in the midst of the joy that we are all feeling, there is also a profound sadness for many of us here on the stage. Our colleague, Professor Adil Godrej, who served as the reader of names for this commencement over numerous years, suddenly passed away a few weeks ago. Adil arrived at Virginia Tech, like some of you, as a graduate student. However, he arrived as a graduate student in 1980, which I hope is not like any of you. After completing his advanced degrees in civil and environmental engineering, Adil served the university as a researcher, professor, and associate director of the Occoquan Watershed Monitoring Laboratory in Manassas. Totally forgot this. During this era, he was a staunch advocate of public education, advising generations of students, and living out the Virginia Tech motto. He was a person of great humor, intellect, and optimism, always quick to share a clever cartoon, an insightful article, or a moving poem. His wide-ranging professional achievements are too numerous to list here, so I will focus on the care and attention that he brought to this ceremony and all of you. Adil served as the reader of names for 12 years, and before that had other roles in commencement. Each year, in the middle of the spring semester, we would send him the names of our graduates, and he would begin learning them, calling and emailing students individually to make sure he had pronunciations correct. Throughout the pandemic, this continued using remotely operated audio consoles and Zoom meetings. Since he and I were both night owls, we would usually meet in the wee hours of the morning so that he would have plenty of time to make a quality recording and get things just right. I had spoken with him not long ago, and he was looking forward to being here in person once again. It breaks my heart that we will not hear his voice on this stage, and I am extremely grateful to Ms. Wendy Berman, who has been able to step in on very short notice. If Adil were here today, his voice would probably be telling me to get on with it and put the spotlight back on our graduating students. So I will close by asking you all to join me in this brief invocation. O God of grace and glory, remember before you this day our brother Adil. We thank you for giving him to us to know and to love as a companion on our earthly pilgrimage. In your boundless compassion, console us who mourn. By your perfect example, inspire us to ever greater service. Give us faith to see in death the gate of eternal life, so that in quiet confidence we may continue our course on earth until, by your call, we are reunited with those who have gone before. Farewell, my colleague and my friend. May you rest in peace, and may you rise in glory. Today, nearly 120 students of Virginia Tech and the greater Washington, D.C. metro area will be recognized for completing degree requirements for doctoral, education specialist, master's, and certificate programs from 6 of the university's colleges and graduate school. Their research, scholarship, and application of knowledge generated during their graduate degrees constitutes a significant achievement for our students, as well as a major contribution to the global body of knowledge. Now, it is with great honor that we introduce Virginia Tech's president, Dr. Timothy Sands, who will introduce our commencement stage party.
Thank you, Kenneth. It's my pleasure to introduce the deans and associate deans of our colleges. These individuals have the immense responsibility for all the academic and administrative direction of each college. As I call your name, would you please stand? Dr. Laura Belmonte, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. Dr. Rosemary Bleasner, Interim Dean of the College of Architecture and Urban Studies. Dr. Julia M. Ross, Dean of the College of Engineering. Dr. Robert Summercrass, Dean of the Pamplin College of Business. Dr. Amy Supernant, Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Paul Emmons, Associate Dean of the College of Architecture and Urban Studies. Dr. Parviz Gandaforish, Associate Dean of the Pamplin College of Business. And Dr. Kenneth H. Wong, Associate Dean of the Graduate School. Thank you. Please be seated. I would also like to recognize the university's senior administrators who have joined us on the stage today. Dr. G. Don Taylor, Executive Vice Provost. Dr. Lance Collins, Vice President, Executive Director for the Innovation Campus. Also on stage are Mr. Phil Miskovic, Graduate Student Representative of the Board of Visitors. Dr. Ralph Bueller, our Commencement Marshal. Ms. Amy Gilliland, our Commencement Speaker. Ms. Roxanne Paul, our 2022 Graduate Student Speaker. Dr. Kieran Lindsay, the Academic Advisor of our Graduate Student Speaker. Marco Leong, our Graduate Virginia Tech Alumni Association Representative. Ms. Wendy Bierman, our Reader of Names. Thank you. Please be seated. And I wish to extend my greetings to all members of the faculty. As we celebrate Virginia Tech's sesquicentennial, you are the vital link that connects our academic past to our ever-expanding, vibrant universe of knowledge represented by our graduates today. Would the faculty please stand and accept our gratitude for your dedication to teaching, scholarship, and to the idea of an academic community. Thank you. Please be seated. To all the students here today, we recognize your significant achievement and celebrate your talents, skills, and hard work. Earning an advanced degree is challenging and takes commitment and perseverance. Many of today's graduates are working professionals from the region's dynamic corporate community, government agencies, and education and policy sectors. They've held demanding jobs during the day and attend school in the evening, while also juggling family obligations and civic activities. It's a privilege to recognize your success today. Would you please stand, and would everyone please join me in applauding our graduating students? Thank you. You may be seated. For every graduate, there's a support system of individuals who have worked hard and made sacrifices for their success. I would like to offer a special welcome and congratulations to the families and supporters of our graduates. Pursuing an advanced degree means a commitment on behalf of the entire family and support structure. All of you have adjusted your schedules, seen less of your loved ones, taken on additional responsibilities, and done your best to get through these very crowded years. Your support helped these graduates summon the necessary commitment, perseverance, and dedication to be here today. We honor them, and we honor you. Thank you. As part of our graduate commencement exercises, we invite an outstanding graduate student to provide a brief message on behalf of the graduating student body. It is now my pleasure to present Dr. Kieran Lindsay, Director of our online Master of Natural Resources program, to introduce our graduate student speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Sands. I couldn't be happier or more honored to introduce Roxanne Paul. I became Roxanne's graduate advisor about 5 years ago when she began our graduate certificate in natural resources. She works full-time for Virginia Tech as an administrative and program specialist in the College of Engineering. And the fact that our programs are designed for adult learners, allowing students to enroll part-time, made it feasible for Roxanne to add graduate school to a schedule already full of work and life responsibilities. Her GCNR, our shorthand reference for that certificate, was awarded in spring 2018 as planned, even though a broken elbow in the previous spring made it difficult for her to write and type for a while. That's what I call dedication to your education. As she was nearing completion of her graduate certificate, Roxanne reached out to me and wanted to discuss continuing her studies, and I was all for that idea. In fall of 2018, she became a degree-seeking student in the Master of Natural Resources online program. As she was nearing, Roxanne and I designed a plan of study around her duties at BT, as well as her work as a seasonal supervisory usher at Wolf Trap National Park for the Performing Arts, not far from where we're gathered today. Clearly, taking a deliberately measured approach to her graduate studies was the right way to go, because in May of 2020, Roxanne received the Greater Washington, D.C. Metro Area Outstanding Staff Award. And I'll remind everyone, as if you could forget, that 2020 was a particularly challenging year in academia and beyond the ivory tower as well. Still unfazed, Roxanne completed her M&R degree on schedule with a 4.0 GPA in May of 2021. She also earned a second graduate certificate, this one in global sustainability, and she received the Jenny Frank Award, the highest award given to a staff member in the College of Engineering. So to recap, that's 1 master's degree, 2 graduate certificates, a broken elbow, a global pandemic, and 2 prestigious staff awards all over the course of 5 years. Is it any wonder that it gives me great pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Roxanne Paul.
I'm going to use this stool here because otherwise I don't think you're going to see my face. So, there. I have here at the top of my speech, slow down, Roxanne. So, I'm a New Yorker. We tend to talk fast. Thank you, Dr. Lindsay, President Sands, distinguished deans and faculty, graduates and guests. I am honored to be here today representing my fellow graduates. As Dr. Lindsay mentioned in my introduction, I earned my Master of Natural Resources, a degree which I shall cherish forever. I have been interested in natural resources since I was an undergraduate back in the 1970s. Yes, you can go ahead and do the math. At the risk of sounding like Andy from the TV show The Office, I will share with you that I went undergraduate to Cornell University, where I mostly studied the science part of natural resources: forestry, wildlife science, geology, limnology, the study of freshwater ecosystems, agronomy, the study of soils. I worked as a National Park Service ranger in several parks out west, and later for a wildlife nonprofit. But after getting laid off from the cash-strapped nonprofit, I applied for a staff position in Virginia Tech's College of Engineering in 2014. In 2016, I applied to the Master of Natural Resources program, which included not only the science, but added the policy issues that I had not learned much about as an undergraduate. I was inspired to seek my degree by my mom, who earned her Bachelor of Arts in her 40s and 50s, and I thought that was old. And by the hardworking students like all of you, and by my 3 sons and daughter-in-law who also earned their either masters or PhDs. I feel that I am the product of 2 great land-grant universities. But now that pride is tempered somewhat by the knowledge that land-grant universities are now sometimes called land-grab universities, because many of them seized land that belonged to Native American tribes. This is something all land-grant universities will need to examine, acknowledge, and rectify. Looking at me, you see that I am not the fresh-faced young graduate student you might expect to see. I will be 67 years old at the end of June, and I plan to retire then from Virginia Tech. My fellow graduates, how many of you are planning to start a new job or are looking for a new job now that you have your degree? Go ahead, raise your hands. Okay, so just about all of you. Just as I expected, you will use the knowledge that you have gained at Virginia Tech in your new position. Most likely, you would not have been offered your position had you not gained your degree at Virginia Tech. Likewise, I plan on using my degree to volunteer for an environmental nonprofit to give presentations about climate change. I wanted to educate people about environmental issues back in 1977, and I still have that same passion today. But now, because of my degree from Virginia Tech, I feel like I really have the knowledge to do so. Several years ago, my brother-in-law told me he didn't think that climate change was human-caused. He handed me an article suggesting that global warming might be caused by sunspots. Back then, I didn't know how to answer him. But now I could say, well, you're right. Sunspots are one of the many natural influences on Earth's climate. In fact, back in the late 1600s to early 1700s, there was a period of very low sunspot activity called the Maunder Minimum. And Europe did experience a mini ice age. But scientists at NASA state that while solar activity has been following its usual 11-year cycles this past century, the net solar activity since 1950 has remained the same, while our global temperatures have risen. This rise is because of the higher concentrations of greenhouse gases in Earth's atmosphere. Unfortunately, people's thoughts about climate change are often tied to their political beliefs. I don't get my information about climate change from Republicans, and I don't get it from Democrats. I get it from climate scientists, like my favorite professor, Dr. Adam Kalkstein, who is an adjunct professor at Virginia Tech, but has a permanent position on the faculty at West Point, our elite academy for the U.S. Army in New York State. Dr. Kalkstein couldn't be here today, but he is watching the live stream. So, hi, Dr. Kalkstein, and thank you. And of course, I'm getting choked up. If you are interested in learning more about climate change, I advise you to look at NASA's web pages on the subject or the reports of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, an organization under the auspices of the United Nations. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is something that I feel like I need to confess today. To be sure, I did earn my degree fair and square. I worked hard, and I'm grateful to many people, including Dr. Lindsay, all my enthusiastic and knowledgeable professors, and all the friends and colleagues who listened to me stressing out, and the students, every time I had a major assignment due. Susan Merton, this means you. I especially want to thank Debbie Cash and Chris Sorensen, our librarians at the Northern Virginia Center, who taught this older student how to do research online and use library resources. But Chris and Debbie, despite all of your efforts, and I hate to admit this in front of all these people, but I never learned how to use a citation manager. I typed in all those citations by hand for my capstone project on the water resources in Tunisia. Thank you, Dr. Milley. I typed in all those citations, 2.5 pages worth. There, I've admitted it, and my conscience is clear. My fellow graduates, I want to leave you with 2 thoughts. The first is, you are never too old to learn. You have just earned a master's or a doctorate, but let lifelong learning be your goal. Be open to new ideas and reinventing yourself. You will never be such an expert in your field that there is nothing left to learn, and there is plenty to learn outside your field. The second thought is to remember Virginia Tech's motto, ut prosum, that I may serve. Of course, starting out in your new career, you will have your own personal goals for advancement. But make sure you use your new knowledge for the good of your community, for the good of our country, for mankind, or the planet. This may be through your actual job, or it may be through volunteering in your community. But remember to serve someone other than yourself. Lastly, my fellow graduates, congratulations on earning your degree. Whether it took 2 years or 10 years or more, you persevered and you did it. Go Hokies!
Thank you, Roxanne. Our commencement speaker today, Amy Gilliland, has been an innovative leader in the defense and aerospace industry throughout her career. In the Navy, she served as a surface warfare officer on a destroyer and as a public affairs liaison officer to the U.S. House of Representatives. In 2005, she joined General Dynamics Corporation and served in a number of leadership roles before being named President of General Dynamics Information Technology in 2017. She currently oversees 30,000 employees, including more than 8,000 in Virginia, and she understands the critical need we have for talent here in Virginia and across the country. Ms. Gilliland holds a bachelor's degree with distinction from the U.S. Naval Academy, a master's degree from Cambridge University, and a master's in business administration from Georgetown. She's a strong supporter of our region's economic development, serving on the board of the Northern Virginia Technology Council. Please join me in welcoming Amy Gilliland.
Roxanne, I also broke an elbow during the pandemic, and if you're willing to get up on the stool, so am I. All right. Thank you, President Sands, for your kind introduction. I'm honored to share the stage today with Roxanne and the Virginia Tech faculty. Now, to those who are here to celebrate, congratulations, graduates, and thank you for letting me be an honorary Hokie for your special day. I want to recognize all of the parents, families, and loved ones, and children who supported you on your journey to get to this momentous point in your lives. I'm particularly honored to be here as my company has more than 250 Hokies on our team. President Sands and I were talking, it's a thing for sure. I've gotten a good education. And 2 of our 3 divisions are led by Virginia Tech grads. We are proud of our connection to tech and the talent we gain from your prestigious programs. As you may have gathered from President Sands' introduction, I've spent my adult life at 3 organizations, the Naval Academy, the U.S. Navy, and General Dynamics Corporation. These 3 institutions have traditional, structured approaches to leadership and culture. I'm a grateful beneficiary of these styles, but after leading 30,000 employees through the throes of a global pandemic, I am changed. Today, I stand before you to espouse traits for today's leaders that include kindness, compassion, and decency. And I'm an evangelist for the importance of mental health. We're not going back to the way things were pre-pandemic. Life in the workplace, regardless of your industry, has been profoundly changed because the human beings that comprise its leaders, its employees, and its customers have changed. The pandemic made us contemplate a world without the human interaction that we are neurologically and biologically programmed to need. And this need for humanity and the recognition that it has a valued role in the workplace has disrupted decades-old leadership theories and practices. Through crisis and necessity, frankly, there became a great humanization of leadership and a renewed sense of purpose for how we spend our work lives. As you establish yourselves as leaders in your fields, I want to share my observations on the future of leadership. It will be decisively human. First, everyone is dealing with something right now. Let's just acknowledge that reality. We spent 2 years looking into each other's lives via Zoom. We know one another's kids, roommates, pets, and yes, even their favorite Virginia Tech hoodie. We know their passions and their challenges, but how are we going to use these insights? After a career in the Navy, I was as bound by professional norms as anyone. I maintained a firewall between my home life and my work life. But after countless Zoom bombs by my 3-year-old, I began to embrace a level of vulnerability and familiarity that I would have never considered before. As employees had insight into my life, I was profoundly changed by the insight I had into theirs. I saw folks struggling with harsh new realities as the support systems and connections they had relied on fell out from under them. We are in a new world where preconceived boundaries should not stand between leaders and their employees. We must be involved, even when it's messy. My second observation, mental health has to be part of the conversation. With 20% of the US population having been diagnosed with some form of mental illness, and 3/4 of US workers experiencing symptoms of a mental health condition, we know our workforce is struggling right now. And this is a reality we cannot ignore. Your role as leaders, colleagues, and parents is to figure out how to have conversations, raise awareness, and most importantly, remove the barriers that prevent people from being their most creative, most healthy selves. As you embark on your journey, carry this knowledge with you and encourage those around you to do the same. Let's eliminate the stigma associated with mental illness so more of us seek the help we need. My third observation is that compassion will be fundamental to your success. To unlock human potential, you have to care. True leadership requires empowerment and trust, not just in times of crisis, but at all times. This is a hard concept for us command and control types, but we can learn. I have learned. Shortly after I was selected to lead GDIT, we made the largest acquisition in General Dynamics history. Corporation's been around since 1952. I was 36 weeks pregnant and about to go on maternity leave. This meant that the initial make or break stages of the integration would have to take place without me. I had to trust that my newly selected leaders would perform. They were empowered to make the right decisions and the best decisions based on what was considerable and important for the new entity that we were created. And they performed beautifully. Empowerment and compassion are essential, but it can't be a one-way street. This is not a simple matter of unconditional love. People ultimately have to perform. But here's the thing, they do. They do. When people are seen and supported, When they are led with compassion and trust, they perform. And when they are inspired, they innovate. I'm here to tell you that compassion and business performance can and should coexist in a company's aspirations. In fact, I'm staking my company's future on it. We have made compassion a leadership imperative, and we're experiencing some of our best performance ever. My fourth observation is that careers will be driven by purpose, and leaders need to key in to what inspires it. Throughout what has been coined the Great Resignation, I'm sure you all have heard of it, people are asking, why am I here at this company, or at this law firm, or at this nonprofit? Answers like good salary and competitive benefits are no longer enough for many workers. 69 million people quit their jobs in America last year, with the vast majority claiming that purpose and well-being are more important than compensation. It's okay to not know what your purpose is today. It will change over time. One way to help identify purpose, or a role that perhaps better aligns to your values, is by seeking opportunities that allow for exploration. I've been given many opportunities, none in my comfort zone, and certainly none that would resemble the obvious path to my current job, but all invaluable in preparing me for the role I have today. I've heard that Hokies have a sacred motto, that I may serve. Roxanne mentioned it also. I know this is one of your 8 pylons, along with values like honor, loyalty, leadership, and sacrifice. With this foundation, you're well prepared to create a bright future for yourselves, and most importantly, to make your own unique contributions to the greater good. Finally, maybe my most hopeful observation is that there is no playbook. Leading will require each of you to take your heart and soul into the next chapter, not just your minds. Great opportunities abound, but there are no instructions. But here's the headline: you don't need instructions. You are the generation at any age built for this era of leadership. You were born into the patriotism and purpose brought on by the tragic events of 9/11. You have shown the perseverance and grit throughout the toughest of times, and here you are. You made it through rigorous academic programs during COVID, and you are reaping the rewards today. Your sense of compassion and equality has demanded inclusivity, and you fought to ensure all voices are heard and all individuals are seen in society and at work. This is personally very important to me. As a parent of a special needs child whose potential is fueled by acceptance, access, and innovation, I am gratified to know that the generation leading the way will make her life easier and more fulfilling. Your generation has spoken openly and honestly about mental health struggles because you know how harmful it can be to ignore. You have told the marketplace that your passions and experiences outside of work make you who you are. They don't take away from your capacity at work, they fortify it. Now, as you join or return to the workforce, you get to build a work life that fulfills all of you, and you get to shape a culture where all individuals can contribute and feel they belong. You, more than any graduating class before you, know that past is not prologue. You can and must lead and inspire differently. Your generation has brought humanity to the forefront of everything you have touched, and you will usher in a period of intense reinvention, innovation, and inclusivity. And I can say with great certainty that we will all be better for it. As you embark on this next phase of your lives, embrace the opportunity you are so uniquely capable and gifted to seize. We will all be rooting for you. Congratulations, and go Hokies!
Thank you very much, Ms. Gilliland. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Don Taylor, Virginia Tech's Executive Vice Provost, who will begin the presentation of the degree candidates.
We will now begin the conferral of degrees, beginning with the doctoral degrees. The doctoral degree represents the highest level of academic achievement and requires that students go far beyond the acquisition of knowledge. A successful doctoral student should transform into a producer of knowledge, someone who will contribute to the leading edge scholarship in their field. Although some doctoral students will go on to become professors and pursue a career in academia, others will apply their skills to public service and government, launch innovative products, or open new frontiers in K-12 education. A very old and a very special tradition in academia accompanies the presentation of a doctoral degree. The doctoral candidate and the student's major advisor, the person who most mentored and supervised the student's research, join each other on the stage, where the advisor places the hood over the head of the graduate. By hooding the graduate, the faculty member symbolically welcomes the graduate as a professional colleague, and this professional relationship and friendship often continues throughout a graduate's and the mentor's lives.
Will all the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees please rise? President Sands, I have the honor to present the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and the Doctor of Education degrees.
With the power vested in me by the Board of Visitors and the Commonwealth of Virginia, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees, to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees and their major professors now approach the stage for the hooding ceremony? As we get started, I want to mention that in the interest of public health, we will not be shaking everyone's hands as they cross the stage, but we are doing so in spirit.
First, the candidates from the College of Architecture and Urban Studies will receive their Doctor of Philosophy degrees, Public Administration and Public Affairs. T. Hong. T. Hong Nyung. Edgar Marion Hollinsworth III, hooded by Professor Matthew Dull. Candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy from the Pamplin College of Business will now receive their degrees. Akwasi Ampofo, hooded by Professor Reza Barki. Stephen Hood, hooded by Professor Dipankar Chakravarti. Stephen O. Juma, hooded by Professor Dipankar Chakravarti. Haribabu Ravella, hooded by Professor Dipankar Chakravarti. Candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy from the College of Engineering will now receive their degrees. Computer Science and Applications. Masa Forhande, hooded by Professor Angelos Stavru. Pratam Rajan Oza, hooded by Professor Tom Chanton. Tanmay Mishra, hooded by Professor Tom Chanton. John Adams Hodge II, hooded by Professor Amir Zaglul. Jaber Valinejad, hooded by Professor Lamin Mili. Debanjan Datta, hooded by Professor Chang Tin Lu. Kwang Dan Don, hooded by Professor Chandan Reddy. Yang Qiao, hooded by Professor Wenjing Lu. Nuclear Engineering. Chris Nellis, hooded by Professor Kenneth Wong. Candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy from the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences will now receive their degrees. Gary A. Reams, hooded by Professor Barbara Allen. In the Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, Tara Hammond Taylor, hooded by Professor Carol Cash. Candidates for the Doctor of Education from the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences will now receive their degrees. In Counselor Education, Otis McKinsey, Jr., hooded by Professor Laura Welfare. In Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, Khaled Walid El Namir, hooded by Professor Ted Price. And Braden Jeffrey Peterson, hooded by Professor Ted Price. And one more. Mohammed Mahdi Banassas. Hooded by Kenneth Wong.
Let's give the students a round of applause to congratulate them. Will all the candidates for the Education Specialist degrees please rise? President Sands, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for Education Specialist.
With the power vested in me by the Board of Visitors and the Commonwealth of Virginia, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the Education Specialist degree to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Please come to the stage.
We welcome the candidates from the College of Architecture and Urban Studies. Nikita Sunil Parmar. We welcome the candidates from the Pamplin School of Business. Tamara Stanley. Oh, I meant Educational Leadership. Tamara Stanley.
Will all of the candidates for master's degrees please rise? President Sands, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for master's degrees.
With the power vested in me by the Board of Visitors and the Commonwealth of Virginia, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the master's degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Will the guides please escort the candidates to the stage?
We welcome the candidates from the College of Architecture and Urban Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, the candidates from the College of Architecture and Urban Studies. Stephanie Simpson. Asta Jetin Baskar. Shelby Marie Pollock. Danielle Curtis. Griffin Patrick Kearns. Julian McKnight. Bednaz Nozari. Kennard Taylor. Erica Toscano Jaramillo. Rachel Lee Hamilton. Roya Saidi. Tia Walbridge. Amaya Lokesh Goloskar. Tyler Raymond Widrowski. Adam Joseph Novacek. Priya Madrecki. Jennifer Itanya Tampubolin. Marco Viola. Karina Delalaine Esubalu. Thais Noguera Nunes. Gulnaz Ali. Obid Alutebi. Mehnaz Hayat. Michaela Smith. Allison Page Brennan. Yasmin Adriana Otaño Antonio San Ginés. Richard Allen Jones. Albert Patrick Fox. Alexis Monahan. Matthew Costantino. Rob Jackson. Eva Rubio. Cynthia Kupski. Pablo Moja Ruiz. James Merchant. Brian Alexander. Eric Zenteno. Joel Lehman. Samira Ban. Anthony Wolak. Derek Allen Halverson. Jennifer Renee Gargan. Marshall Anthony Craig. Chloe Jihi Song. Wesley Michael Snow. Austin J. Hwang. Matthew Vincent Bess. We now welcome the candidates from the College of Engineering. Yang Hu. Jeff Austin. Robert Valesco III. Larissa Jufa Basso. Adam Gorski. Yoon Nam. Li Hui Zhang. Brandon Elliott Boggs. Arash Alexandro Bepor. Kai Shang Cheng. Che Shen Liao. Qi Fang Chen. Stephen Sun. Yan Li. Mark Pace. Vinay Mutiala. We now welcome the candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. Ava Irwin. Stephanie L. Christensen. Samantha Renner. Abigail Margaret O'Leary. Evdoxia Michael Empress. Marisa Joy Beck. We now welcome the candidates from the College of Natural Resources and Environment. Frances Catherine Darnell. Renee O'Donnell. Malik Andre Samuel White. Roxanne Paul. We now welcome the candidate from the College of Science. Bradley Stokes. And finally, we welcome the candidates for interdisciplinary degrees in Master of Information Technology. Eric Yang. Tao Tran. Tran. Alpha Berhane Andu. Haider Nasiri. Ariba Hakani. Demontre Xavier Purvis. Hindira Santasayan Mudali. Vanessa Soto. Sandra Medrano Bonilla. Christopher Blackwell. Anne Vu. Alyssa Christine Ricci. Laura Witherspoon. Nathan Kemmer Lattis. Thomas Christopher Allard. Jonathan Bangura, Jr. Robert O'Neill. Jose Torres. Edward Lacey Coles, Jr. Sanford Eng. Jeffrey Clark Miller. Jonathan South. William Macht. Daniel Kirkpatrick.
I would also like to acknowledge those students who have earned a graduate degree. Please stand if you have earned these confirmations of higher education attainment. Congratulations again. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. My name is Emily Panette, and I'm with the Virginia Tech Alumni Association. Today, you're not ending your relationship with Virginia Tech, but beginning your relationship with the Virginia Tech Alumni Association, whose motto is Virginia Tech for Life. For those of you staying in the area, you are in great company. The largest population of Virginia Tech alumni live right here, close to 60,000 Hokies. And there are a dozen alumni chapters in this area with which to network and reconnect with the university. And now I proudly introduce one of those alumni, Marco Leung, a 2012 graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. After his time with Virginia Tech, Marco started as an analyst with Deloitte Consulting and has gone on to become a senior manager in Deloitte Consulting's government and public services industry, supporting government agencies in their digital and technology transformations. As an alumnus, he continues to serve Virginia Tech through his role as a board member with the Virginia Tech Alumni Association and his passion project at Deloitte, which is to continue expanding industry partnerships between Virginia Tech and his company. We are pleased to have Marco with us here today, and I'm pleased to introduce him to all of you.
All right. Good afternoon, Hokie graduates and your loved ones. What a day, and what an honor it is for me to represent the Virginia Tech Alumni Association Board of Directors to congratulate you on this special milestone accomplishment. On behalf of the board, welcome to the alumni family. I joined the alumni family about 10 years ago. I gotta tell you, I remember that day so vividly. I remember the sense of pride. I survived that capstone project that consumed every waking moment of that last semester. I also remember the sense of excitement. I was moving to this area, the DMV area, and starting a new career as a young professional. And I'll never forget the love around me. Yes, it was hectic coordinating logistics for my big Chinese family, ages 12 through 85, in Blacksburg for a weekend, but it warmed my heart that they all came all that way to celebrate me. That day was really special for me. And today is special for you. You embarked on a journey for growth, You invested in yourself, and you challenged the status quo. And you overcame the odds. And I hope that you're going to remember this milestone with pride, excitement, and love. And you go better celebrate it big. Tomorrow, we continue on this journey for growth. I look forward to having you on this journey alongside your Virginia Tech family, alumni family, 250,000 strong. I hope that you continue to invest in your personal growth. It doesn't have to be big. Be a better parent, son, daughter, uncle, aunt, and friend. Learn a new skill. Or maybe grow your network by joining your local alumni chapter and share Hokies Lager with some new friends. I hope you also invest in Virginia Tech's growth. Virginia Tech has some big and lofty goals. We want to be the premier education and research destination. We also want to be the hub of innovation in the DMV area, and you can be part of that. Just share the knowledge that you learned in the classroom, virtual classroom, in your day-to-day water cooler chat or your virtual water cooler chat. Or connect the dots between your latest work project and the research grant that you work alongside these professors at Virginia Tech. Or maybe make a donation to the academic programs that made your memory so much more special here. Finally, I hope you invest in our society's growth. Today, it's easy to spot the pains, the sufferings, the injustices in our world, but it takes courage and commitment to see a brighter future. We all have a role in that better future. Again, it doesn't need to be big. Make the person next to you feel special before you leave here today. Give everyone the benefit of a doubt when we don't see eye to eye. Invest in the next generation, maybe even a Hokie that's coming along after you. The opportunities are boundless on this journey for growth. You will hear from the Alumni Association on ways you can get involved, and hope you answer the call. As a Hokie community, we'll keep investing in ourselves, we'll keep challenging the status quo, and we'll overcome the odds, and make this world just a bit brighter. So today, we celebrate, and we celebrate big. Tomorrow, we keep growing, and I'll be right there with you. Go Hokies. Thank you.
Please join me in offering congratulations to all of our graduates. Congratulations again. As we bring the ceremony to a close, I would like to call upon Professor Ralph Bueller of the DC faculty to bring a brief message of congratulations on behalf of the university faculty.
Virginia Tech graduates. That has a nice sound to it, doesn't it? After the many sacrifices that you and your loved ones have shared over the past several semesters, you have achieved this important milestone. Commitment, hard work, compromise, not to mention sleepless nights, missed activities, and often precariously balanced demands from a multitude of directions have finally paid off. I offer you one final thought as you leave today on behalf of all the faculty and staff at Virginia Tech. Never stop learning. This chapter of your life's education may have come to an end, but you will be a better, and dare I even say, happier person if you continue to learn and grow throughout your life. Life is full of wonder and of lessons. Pay attention. Kindle the fire of curiosity that you have started here and always carry it with you, the commitment to make a difference every day, living the Virginia Tech motto, ut prosum, that I may serve. Now, please stand as you're able for the retirement of the colors. Our commencement ceremony for Virginia Tech's DC area is now concluded. A special thanks to Wendy Berman as the reader of names, to soloist Corey Parker, and to Director Charles Peterson and the members of Beltway Brass for providing the music for this afternoon ceremony. The stage party will exit first. Graduates, please exit afterwards by rows to your right, beginning with the first row. Thank you all for joining us and have a safe trip home.